Kimraha Huladunia, how is everyone? Fauchagu ye Olde Scot the Celtic podcast. On today's show in Feuchamaich, Beagan, Gaidhlig, that's Let's Try a Little Gaidhlig. We're going to go over, the general rules for comparatives. Those are like good and bad, big and small, long and short, easy, difficult. And just run through that real quick. And then I'm going to tell you an old saying that was for children. It's designed to help them remember the name of their fingers. We're going to talk about the Caledonians, the walls, and fighting the Romans in Celtic history today. You're going to hear a short story from me called The Day in the Life of a Simple Celt. And do that in everyday Celtic ways. We're going to hear music from Rachel Newton, Braybuck, and Caledonians. Trying to do all new music today. And as always, it's a wee bit of Irish trivia to test your knowledge to start us off. In which river was the famed salmon of knowledge believed to swim? All right. Check out the Olde Scot Facebook group where you can be a part of the Celtic culture. And keep an eye out for the Celtic Badass of the Week, the weekly Celtic Music Spotlight, and, of course, the Learn a Gaelic Song videos.
Get a sacred molepi, Chanye Katal Hagorstanum, Bounce face so ein Chown and Beagan, Nina gleich gegen Ruskich, Haro Huvinoro, Horo Huvinoro. Fara mimika vami, imagla erbekoidam, vilk mogona volmaklish, kom al faske gon drioch gair, haro huvinoro, haro huvinoro, haro. Habe klachrich saratchen, Sjo bavish moguskach, ach an keller befeuche, ik de chan am breiruskich, horo huvinoro, horo huvinoro, horo. Sitars verrekars dan smuten, vegas mjörk och harstej, si här varnam bedukaram, hages robin guhishal, aunen jakarnan te löferes, oudstammengen of boyach, stafna krojke kan bruske.
was Oren Vry Uskak, or The Song of Braes Ruskak, by Breibach. And now it's time for Feuchamaich in Gaelic. Let's try a little Gaelic. I am not an authority on the Gaelic language, I just love learning it. I struggle like most and I want to help. What I teach comes right from a well-respected Gaelic teacher, so I hope you find it interesting, informative, and fun. I always display on the screen what I'm discussing, so you can follow along. Today we're talking about comparatives. And the general rule about comparatives is you use nas before the adjective plus slenderize the last vowel and add an e. Like young, og, nas oiche. Makes it young or younger. Nas is added before og, plus an I is added before the last consonant, which is G, and an E is added at the end. That's how you get the oiche. Oiche. Alright, move on. Ma, agus, dona, which is good and bad. Ma, nas, han, or nas, ha, hair. Ma, nas, which is good or better. Dona, nas, misa, which is good or bad or worse. More, agus, beck, which is big and small. Got more. Nas, moha, which is big or bigger. And you have beck. Las, nas, luga, which is small or smaller. Fada, agus, gorlich, long and short. Fada, nas, eche, long or longer. Gorlich, nas, geira, short or shorter. Fortista, agus, dordav, easy and difficult. Fortista, nas, shesha, easy or easier. Dordav, nas, dulie, difficult or more difficult. Alright, that's kind of it for comparatives right now. Just give you a little bit. But before I let you go, I'm going to tell you an old child saying that was taught by my grandmother. It's designed to help kids remember the names of their fingers. Now, I'm not 100% sure on all the words, but I know it by heart. Avelchev olach eminen nachorachin anan Gaelic. Do you know the names of the fingers in Gaelic? We'll start off with the thumb. An ordak, an skilabak, an gunafara, an makanaba, agus ludicvec an etiketch. And that means the thumb, the chip or the pointer finger, the big gun, the son of the abbot, which is the ring finger, and the little money finger or the little hinge of money. All right.
and Sao Bound and Yon Morning Town, no goo, Hiddy, Hoilo, Morning Town, no goo. Each mom of not the vine, no rain, Canada, Morning Town, no goo, Hiddy, Hoilo, Morning Town, no Tokala Van, she saws, books it for a guinea of Morning Town, oh goo.
That was Google This by Braybuck. Kind of a new band I've been turned on to. And we're going to talk about Caledonians, the walls, and fighting the Romans. Under the rule of Emperor Vespasian, the Romans desperately wanted the region now known as Scotland to be a part of their growing empire. However, the Celtic fighters from the north, known as Caledonians, fought steadfastly. Now, it wasn't until Roman soldiers under the leadership of Julius Agricola, who faced the massed armies of the Caledonians led by Gallicus at the Battle of Mons Grappus, defeated the Caledonians, now killing some 30,000 of them in 81 AD, as recorded by the Roman historian Tacitus. Now, having only made a small incursion into the wilds of the north to battle the Caledonians, the empire would consider it a great victory to have at least part of the north under its control. Still, the Caledonians who survived Agricola's onslaught fled into the hills and remained stubborn opponents of the Romans for years to come. Now, over the ensuing decades, the Caledonians continued to be troublesome, mounting numerous attacks on the northern outposts of the empire and stealing necessary supplies to live that far north, essentially making it impossible for the Romans to advance. By the time Emperor Hadrian came to power in 117 AD, the Romans no longer sought to expand their territory, weary from decades of continued fighting. Instead, they wanted to protect what they already had from the Caledonians and from others. So, under Hadrian's orders, the Roman governors of Britain began building the wall, the Hadrian's Wall, which of course would be later named for him. They did that to defend that part of Britain that they controlled from attack. In Hadrian's words, they wanted to separate Romans from the barbarians to the north. The walls may have also served as a means of restricting immigration and smuggling into and out of Roman territory. Despite the significant undertaking in this construction, Hadrian's successor as Roman head of state, Antonius Pius, abandoned the wall following the former's death in 138 AD. Under Antonius's orders, Roman soldiers began building a new wall, some 100 miles to the north, in what is now southern Scotland. Now, this became known as the Antonine Wall. Now, it was made of turf and was roughly half the length of Hadrian's Wall, although it featured more forts than its predecessor. Like the emperors before him, Antonianus was never able to truly defeat the northern tribes, and construction of the Antonine Wall was ultimately abandoned as well. Now, in AD 410, the Roman Emperor Honorius sent a goodbye letter to the people of Britain. He wrote, "Fight bravely and defend your lives. You are on your own now." The city of Rome was under attack and the empire was falling apart. So the Romans had to leave to take care of matters back home, having never incurred any further into the Caledonians' lands in the north. Wow. Well, that's it for that's it for Celtic History Break.
An hour with thee when earliest day dapples with gold the eastern grey. Oh, what can frame my mind to bear the toil and turmoil, cark and care, new griefs which come in hours unfold, and sad remembrance of the old. 1 hour with thee. Pitch of noon, what shall repay the faithful swain his labour on the sultry plain, and more than cave or sheltering bough, cool feverish blood and throbbing brow, 1 hour with thee.
Alright, that was An Hour with Thee by Rachel Newton. And now it's time for Everyday Celtic Ways. Today we're doing it's a short story I wrote for a contest where I had to write about a day in the life of somebody I couldn't possibly, lived thousands of years ago. So I chose to do a day in the life of a simple Celt. And that's by, of course, me, Jeff McDonald. Imagine living in a time when life is simple. You live in a home constructed of sticks, rocks, mud, and grass on the banks of some river you do not even know the name of, not that you even care it has a name or not. You have a few chickens to give you eggs to eat every day. You hunt for rabbit, squirrel, and the occasional deer, if you're lucky. You have a small garden of vegetables that your parents showed you how to find in the forest and then cultivate into a crop. Your parents showed you how to do everything. The water from the river is cool and refreshing, and from time to time fish are caught from it, which is a refreshing change in your diet. Having children is important. You were taught this. So you have found you a companion, and she is with child. So you're very protective of her. In your life you have learned that childbirth is dangerous to the child and the mother. In your life you have learned that despite the tranquility you feel right now, danger is literally just over the hill. Life gives you all you need, but can take it all away in one fell swoop. The biggest danger in life is man. Other people can be jealous, spiteful, and violent when they want what you have. However, that's not in your mind right now. As the sun shines down upon your shoulders while you work, and your woman turns and smiles because she is truly happy, you are content. Walking along, surveying all that is yours, running your hand through the coarse hair upon the back of your plow horse, you seem at one with your little universe. Only a half-day's walk into the morning sun takes you to a nearby village where you can trade some of your crops, eggs, or anything else you want to. In that village you can get things from far-off places, strange things, forbidden things. But you are happy here in your world, listening to the water trickle through the stones on the river, birds silently gliding above, and rabbits hopping in the field. Your woman walks up, hands you her basket of eggs, and kisses you deeply. Her belly touches yours, and you feel the kick of what you hope will be a strong boy to help you in the fields, or a beautiful girl that will hold your heart from the first moment to the last. Together you make your way back into your home, stoke the fire, and enjoy the life that the gods have given you. You have never seen these gods, but you're sure they're there. How could they exist? How could all this exist without them? Then an errant thought comes to your mind. Could the gods exist without someone to believe in them? Sitting next to a warm fire, eating a bowl of food your woman has just given you, she cuddles up behind you and shares your warmth. Then in the distance, a horn is sounded. He eats another bite and then hears it again. Setting down his bowl, he walks to the door and peers out and sees smoke on the horizon. His woman walks up from behind and hugs him. "What is that?" she asks. "I don't know." Soon, he will know all too well. His life will change. Tranquility will be replaced with chaos, and those things he is sure of will be in question. For now his life is perfect, so he enjoys it and turns back and finishes his food. The end.
I went to see my true love. She drew me scornfully. I asked her would she marry. She would not answer me. It's growing most late, my darling. It's almost break of day. I'm waiting for an answer, dear girl. What do you say? Kind sir, to be my say-so, I choose a single life. I never thought it suited for me to be your wife. So take this for an answer, and for yourself provide. I loved you once, my darling, but now you're laid aside. Of 3 weeks longer, this lady's mind did change. She's written me a letter saying, love, I am ashamed. Love, if I have slighted you, I hate to hear you moan. So here's my heart, come take it and claim it as your own. I've written her an answer, sent it back at great speed, saying loved you once, my darling, I loved you once indeed. Since your mind a changing, I looked some other way. I looked upon some damsel more suitable for me. I looked upon some damsel where love can have its fill. This world is wide and lonely. If one won't, another will.
Alright, that was Here's My Heart, Come Take It by Rachel Newton. Well, that's it for today's show. Hope you liked it. I'm trying to keep it interesting, informative, and fun while showing you the beauty of all things Celtic. Top 11 Heritage. And now, before I let you go, the trivia question answer. The River Boyne is the river that the famed Salmon of Knowledge was believed to swim in. Alright. Remember to check out my YouTube channel, Olde Scot. It's got the Celtic Badass of the Week videos, Celtic Music Spotlight videos, Celtic Podcast videos, speaking our language, Celtic movies, scary stories, and lots more. And my Facebook group, Olde Scot, where you can give me all your insights and inputs on all things Celtic. Martian Leven Drozda. Bye for now. I'll let you go with a song. I Am a Youth That Is Inclined to Ramble by Cara Dillon.
Some foreign country I mean to steer. I am loath to part my friends and comrades, and my dear sweetheart and my love dear. But there's one of those I do most admire. On her since fate's decreed, I am resolved to part her and try my fortune in America. So farewell, darling, since I must leave you. I place great dependence on your constancy, that no other young man may gain your favor or change your mind when I am o'er the seas. For although the seas they do separate us, and in between us they do rise and fall, if fortune favors me, you'll find your Jamie returning homeward from America. Oh, Jamie dear, do you remember when I sat with you for many's the hour, and my young fancy away was carried, and the bees hummed around on each opening flower? But when you're crossing the western ocean, the maid that loved you, you'll thy mind devour, and you'll scarce think upon the maids all wearing, for you'll find strange sweethearts in America. all other fair maids I'd prove untrue. And if you think these are false promises, I leave these vows as a pledge to you, that what I have may prove unsuccessful, and fortune prove to me a slippery ball, that a favour gain it may ne'er blow on me, if I forsake you in America. And to conclude, to end these verses, may God protect this young female fair, and keep her from every wild embarrassment, and of my darling take the greatest care. For she's slow to anger and of kind disposition, her cheeks like roses in June to blow. In my nightly slumbers, whene'er I think of her, I would court her vision in America.